There we go. Alright. Welcome back to another stream. We are doing a bit of a challenge today. That is to not hurt any creatures ever. Basically to be a pacifist. And that's makes the hunter run quite difficult. The goal for this, I think, is to just do all objectives, basically. So meet pebbles, meet or meet pebbles with the neuron, go to moon with the neuron, and then ascend, which also means getting enough echoes. I'm on the official Randall Discord server. I am. I'm there. I don't really say anything. Let's get started. Why are you up there? I do have fast roll on. I think that's a mod that's allowed anyway. Let's get this down here. Because it's a mod that like basically replicates what some external program would do that was allowed anyway. Debating if I should bring a pearl. I guess I should, right? If I don't want to fight scavengers. So spears are still useful, but pretty much only for movement. You know, about the Saint challenge, that's pretty much why I'm doing this, because I saw that challenge. I think the rules of that challenge are slightly different than what I'm going for. I want to try to avoid hurting creatures at all. And I don't know if that I think that the challenge is just to not kill any at all. But the Saint's passage is like does include just like hurting them in any way. So just throwing a rock at a creature would prevent you from getting the passage. And I don't know about some creatures that you can eat, like centipedes or bat flies. I don't know if I should count those. But I think I'll try to avoid it if possible. So our main source of food is going to be popcorn plant. That's pretty much all that's left. Or maybe I'll also allow creatures that are already dead if they're killed by something else. Like this, no creatures on your kill list. So like this is fine. But I'm probably not going to kill this Vulture Grub. Your Ranger could beat a T-Rex in a fight. I mean, Ranger are very hard to kill. Unless you have a Singularity Bomb, they will take a whole lot of explosives. But I guess the Scavengers are able to kill them, so probably wouldn't be too bad for them. You know, maybe I should grab the Farmer's Echo while I'm just in this region. I can also hop by the Scavengers, give them some pearls, which also means I should, if I remember which room I'm in. The pearl is in this room. Maybe I should be moving a little bit faster. I don't really have any route in mind. Just kind of going with what I think feels right. And I don't really have a reason to carry rocks anyway. Sky Islands is easier. I'll probably go Sky Islands, but I just want to go down to grab the Echo. I guess I could do a starve cycle if I wanted to just come back. Starve and then grab the Echo. Actually, I think I need to get enough karma anyway. Oh wow, I almost got blocked by that lizard. What I can also do is grab some more pearls that are down at the bottom of Farmer's. And if pretty much all those pearls should get my reputation really high off the start, so I won't have to worry about scavengers being a problem. I do have to worry about every single other creature being a problem though. Like this vulture over here and this blue lizard. Although this now Now we have an angry noodle fly. I guess if that blue lizard got killed, I could go back and eat that, but the vulture would probably get it first. You know what? I might as well check if that they don't take those pearls. It doesn't look very dead though. Wow, thank you. I just wasn't paying attention. I guess I didn't expect. There we go. So that's one of the few ways we're going to be able to get food. Other than a popcorn plant. I saw the vulture and thought, oh no, what if they stole my pearls? First, I don't care about the pearls at all. I'm worried that these aren't scavengers that are associated with the toll, so they will be less willing to trade. Okay, I guess this guy's in the way now. I find it funny how ready scavengers are just throw all of their explosive spears away. You're gonna pick those up? Okay, I think that did count. Reindeer stand no chance. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes I see that there's like groups of scavengers that kind of wander off away from the toll. I thought that if any scavengers aren't just like standing directly near the toll, then they may be more aggressive and less willing to trade. Because even as the hunter who starts off with negative reputation, they don't attack you immediately. So you have some time to like give them a pearl. But I guess if it's like some distance, yeah. You know what? I don't really like the idea of imagining that. Maybe that's just me. Farm race is such an interesting region because half of it is like totally fine and the other half is like the worst region. I think this part of farm race is totally reasonable. I don't mind navigating this too much, but then once you get to the areas that require using the deer, it becomes significantly worse. I don't like that guy, but I can actually just jump over him right here. Okay, I know that there's another lizard in this area. I guess it's already a caramel. Kind of would like to see green lizards instead. Yeah, there's the remix option that lets you extend the number of cycles you have, which is something that I did with mods before Downpour. I think that it's something that makes me feel kind of mixed about Hunter, because the limited cycles is really important for score runs. Otherwise, you could just spend as many cycles as you want to get whatever score you want. So like for score runs, you have to, it has to be limited, but of course not everyone wants to play score runs. So if you just want to play with hunter spawns like casually, then that's just not something you're able to do. Until of course you have the remix option. So I actually don't think that the echo is activated. You probably have to be at max karma. Yeah, I don't see any effects, so I was just checking just in case. I think the max amount of cycles is like 9,999. It's essentially limited. Oh yeah, I guess that's also a thing that you can do, because once you go past cycle 0 or cycle 1, there's some point where you just it becomes permadeath. So the next time you die, the like run ends permanently. You can't continue. But if you get enough food, if you eat enough food, you will no longer be starving, so you won't have the same like negative effects on you. But the amount of food that you need to eat increases for every cycle. And of course, it's still permadeath. And I guess if you could survive with the starving effect once it requires that much more food. Excuse me. I hit the cicada with a rock, which I would count as breaking the rules of the challenge. However, this is a star cycle, and meeting the echo means that it resets back before this cycle, so it doesn't even count. Right? It's as if it's never happened. You know, I'll just do this. Okay, I just starve again. Okay, it's not big of not that big of a problem. I thought that I would lose an extra karma level. Yeah. So the rules for this challenge that I've created is just to never hurt any creature at all. So no rocks, no spears, especially. Definitely no like killing anything, and no like trying to. I guess also there's not really a good way to check this, but no trying to harm a creature and like indirectly. So like leading a creature into a position that would make it fall off, or leading a creature into like a group of scavengers. I'll try to avoid doing those things on purpose. So why starve? I need enough karma to see this echo, and I didn't want to waste the popcorn plant because it's one of the few ways I can get food easily. Although I might be leaving this area immediately, so I won't even need the popcorn plant. I might eat it after this cycle, after seeing the echo. Just pretty much the only other way that I can get food is if I just stumble across a dead creature, or like two creatures who are fighting each other. That probably makes the challenge. That's like the biggest thing that contributes to this challenge's difficulty, as well as not being able to protect yourself from any like creature. I'm also going to try to avoid vulture masks, which is something that I've been doing for a lot of challenges. But I just think it kind of like defeats the purpose of the challenge to just completely be able to completely ignore lizards. Because the point of the challenge is that you kind of have to figure out other ways to deal with creatures other than fighting them. And with the vulture mask, you just kind of ignore them completely, which is the same as if you were able to attack them anyway. I can't make that jump %. I mean, if I did it roll pounds, it would work. So I will also be avoiding vulture masks, although it'd be difficult to find one anyway. I guess I didn't consider that. So in the rare situation that I would get a vulture mask somehow, I won't even use it. Unless maybe this challenge turns out to be a lot more difficult than I thought. We'll see. Thank you for that. So we're just going this way now. I've kind of considered trying to speedrun the all objectives category. Or, you know, maybe any of Hunter's categories. Isn't really something that I've touched before. There's a scavenger right here. He's about to die though, so. But in that challenge, in the Discord challenge, you can technically like injure a creature with a spear, so that it would run away from you, but it wouldn't die. So that wouldn't count as a kill. But you would still be able to. Well, I guess that's another way to get food if I happen to just find a dead egg bug. Don't attack me. I think that scavenger immediately fell into the worm grass. I'm pretty sure that most lizard types, like other than blue lizards, like pink lizards or white lizards, cyan lizards, they're probably not going to, well, actually not cyan lizards. But yeah, I understand that there's a risk. If an injured creature might like fall off a cliff, that might count as a kill. Or if you hit a cyan lizard, it might hit the, might do the thing where it sends them flying off if you hit the right spot. And that could kill them. Nice pull. It kind of looked like the bottom of it was just invisible. I don't like those lasers. I'm not a fan. I just prefer going over the top of this room, because there can be a lizard hiding in that tunnel at the bottom. Yeah, I don't like that. And luckily that lizard is all the way over there. Hopefully it doesn't see me though. It'll take a while for me to make it up to this room. And I do need a spear too. Unless... yeah, I don't know if you can do anything here. That's probably the best I'll get. It's fine. Just look for a spear. Not? Oh, I see one. I don't see any large centipedes in this room, and I think there can be larger than the smallest kind. Why does this happen? There we go. If I had another spear, I could give it to these scavengers for reputation. Right, there we go. That definitely counts. But I really want to get out of here as fast as possible. Okay, I think that pink has a noodle fly. Nice backflip. I think that's about to activate. Just have to wait down here for a bit. I see a pearl down there. That's the pearl that you start with as Hunter. I gave it to the scavengers and it just respawned because of how key items work. This green lizard is being difficult. I want to grab that noodle fly for. Oh, okay. There's a 3D version of Rain World. It's called Outside. This is my chance. Oh, did the green lizard grab that? It's always surprising how well or how easily lizards can take out centipedes, but I guess that's a green lizard, so it makes a bit more sense than like a blue lizard. One of the few times, well, actually not a few times. Pretty much our only use of spears is just for creating platforms like that. Noodlefly's following me around. That's a shelter. Okay, I think I can make it to farmers at least. Do hear a large centipede up here. It seems too. Okay, it's not that bad. Nice backflip. Turns out that Rain World is just Earth in the distant future. Because no other story has ever came up with that idea. Now, scavengers aren't the most common in Sky Islands. They can show up, so I'll still hold on to this pearl. Oh, it's quite hard to give them the pearl without throwing it off a cliff. There are a few jumps that are difficult to make in Sky Islands, so carrying items around for throw boosting is pretty useful. I always wonder why this pipe is so long. For some reason. I guess because they wanted to keep the bottom of the room. Like, there are popcorn plants. Although, yeah, you can't get them as Hunter. reputation cheese? I think so. After giving a pearl to a toll to pass, you can just continue to give them things like spears, and they will be given like extra bonus reputation as if you were to give them like another pearl. So if you just give them one pearl and then like a ton of spears, you can get through a toll, or you can like max out your reputation really easily. I guess I might as well just grab this echo while right now. Yeah, I guess I usually think it's just kind of a hassle to go and find a bunch of spears to bring back and forth to the pole. But I guess if there's an opportunity to do that, I would do it. So we're now heading up to Pebbles. I guess the chimney echo first. But that's actually all the echoes we need. And actually, I think even less, because Pebbles gives you karma. So I guess I could ignore the chimney. Well, I'm not really going back through these areas again since I'm going to Shoreline. But I'll just see the echo at the top of the wall, and then Pebbles, and then I'll have enough karma. Funny how concentrated all the echoes are in this part of the world. Like just around Sky Islands, there's 3 of them. Thinking about how I should approach this. I wonder why that's there. I think this is the wrong way. Yep, well, the tropic. It's kind of brought the tropic over to the wrong place. Apparently, I'm kind of thinking about this challenge for other characters, because as Rivulet, it's extremely easy, because a lot of people actually already complete the challenge. That's just an egg bug. A lot of people do the challenge accidentally. They just like never kill a creature. Same with Saint. It's very easy to, well, I guess depending on if you count the Ascension ability as killing. But it's very easy just to completely avoid killing any creatures for those characters because they're very mobility oriented instead of combat oriented. There's the popcorn plant here. That's what I was looking for. I guess I'll grab another pearl. But let's say as Artificer, right? Technically it would be possible, right? Because you can just find like dead scavengers sitting around. The Scavenger King would be difficult, although not impossible. I think if you can get it's actually possible for vultures to show up in that room. So, or the other scavengers if you can make the scavengers throw spears at the king. Although that would take forever and you have to get very lucky to not die. Ooh, hello, lizard. I might grab a mushroom. It would make some of the jumps later a lot easier. And also I'm just kind of carrying these pearls for no reason. My reputation is already fine. Are they going through? They are. I hate these poles. It's so hard to grab onto because you're jumping off of a slope. It's actually just easier to do that. I'm actually just gonna drop one of these. I like to have more to throw boost with. I guess there's another popcorn plant here if I wanted to use it. Pretty lucky. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna say I'm pretty lucky with the lizard spawns, but there's the 2 lizards right here, and that leap lizard jumping around. I don't know how I'm going to deal with this white lizard though. I didn't mean to drop that. Oh, vulture. That's convenient, but this lizard is still here. As long as the I think the Scion is still kind of scared from the vulture. I thought that the way I thought of it is that once the creature's health reaches negative values, I suppose 0 would count. So 0 or below, then there's a random chance that they died, and that the amount of time or the chance depends on how negative their health is. Oh, did they grab the lizard? That's a more dangerous lizard. But this white lizard is still in the way. I guess I'll have to do this. Although, yeah, I can't go up fast enough. That just happened to be the worst spot for that white lizard to be. I guess it's not over yet. I'm not dead. I did drop the pearl. Not the spear, that's glued to my back. That lizard did nothing. This is a situation that the pacifist thing makes a big difference. Because I would be able to deal with these lizards very easily if I just threw a single rock at them. Yep. This next segment will be rough. I kind of got lucky with some of the lizards being gone or being grabbed by they're grabbed by vulture, but I'll have to wait until we get kind of lucky here. I guess I could also try to grab a squidcada if any of them show up. And I guess like Spearmaster would be the only other character that would be interesting. But it's kind of just the same thing as Hunter, where there's just a lot of difficult creatures that are harder to deal with. You can't hurt them at all. Actually, it would be a... Never mind, it would be a big difference because you can't get food at all. But the same thing, you just have to use popcorn plants. But you wouldn't be able to rely on already dead creatures. That's probably the other big difference. There's already like routes through the game that like get a bunch of popcorn plants. It probably wouldn't be that hard to find a route that would get you enough food. There's already that challenge of only using a single spear for the entire playthrough. So I guess it wouldn't be that different. If that's possible, then it's probably possible. I mean, I think that strategy uses bat flies, but you just have to hit another popcorn plant instead of the bat flies, and you'd be totally good. So it'd just be the same challenge, but a lot easier. So, will I be running into lizards, of course? The answer is always yes. I think one of those might have seen me. Or not. Or just jump into game. I'm gonna say that's allowed. I didn't do anything, I just threw the cherry bomb. It kind of scares them away, but without like hitting them directly. I think the cherry bombs are probably like one of the more useful tools I have. So I could technically make these jumps. There's another pearl over there anyway, so I guess I don't need to do this. There we go. I never really considered that going along the bottom there to be like a viable route, but it's not that bad. I thought I heard a vulture for a second. I hope that spear didn't hit anything. No, we're good. That's probably the biggest thing we have to worry about when trying to do like throw boosts and stuff. I don't like that guy up there. I'm just gonna have to. All right, now they're coming down. This room kind of sucks. You have to go all the way down here just to be able to go back up. So that wet lizard moved in the perfect spot. There's another pearl that I could grab, but I haven't even seen any more scavengers. Hey, we got this song playing again. No reason to pick up a explosive spear. You have to go all the way down to no movement, I suppose. Although the environment's kind of janky there, so I don't have a good strategy for it. I don't know what happened there. I guess I was still moving while trying to jump. Yeah, if you try to try to do a charge pounce while you're moving, you just do that little hop. Now we have to get through all that again, but at least we have this music playing. And of course it immediately stopped playing for some reason. Okay, they're moving back up. Great timing. They do have a way to get up there through that pipe that I don't have access to. I still suck at doing slides. Oh, great. This is the perfect position to throw a spear. I can't do that. Now that white lizard is just dancing. Okay, they see me. You really have to change the way that you play. Being a lot more like stealthy and just trying to avoid creatures. I would have preferred if that lizard got the egg bug instead. So I can actually eat that. Let's just drop it. I love wall jumping. Very consistent mechanic. I think I might have forgotten to get food on my last cycle. I can just... There always has to be some sort of nasty creature in this room. Oh, it's carrying something at least. I've also found out that noodle flies are quite useful. If the noodle fly is angered for whatever reason, then it will try very hard to kill whatever creature angered it. Actually, I'm going to hold on to this, and that means that I can get noodle bugs or noodle flies to help me out with like killing creatures. Of course, I wouldn't ever try to do that intentionally. Just if it ever happens, I might as well take advantage of it. Guess I will have to go down here again, although I don't know how possible these jumps are without throw boosting. Oh, they seem distracted though. Okay, that was good timing. And there isn't the wet lizard here like last time. Might have to leave this No, I don't have to. That is a risk though. There might be something up there and I would hit it. I suppose you can do that to get up there. Now, the last time I died, it was for very stupid reasons, so hopefully I just can avoid doing that. Although there are a handful of lizards in these next few rooms. Possibly a white lizard and a pink lizard. Be careful about these jumps. There's the white lizard. Is it about to rain? It is. That is actually useful. It's only a few rooms away from a shelter. And it would make these lizards run away. I see a way to avoid this lizard. Oh, come on. Alright, no pearl. I guess I was just kind of making everything more difficult. Happy to carry the pearl around. If But I never really got to see any scavengers to give it to. So I guess well, it's not necessary to have good scavenger reputation. It's just something that I wanted to do to make the rest of the run easier, and it might already be like positive enough for it to be something I don't worry about. There's a place where scavengers usually are in one of those last few rooms. But I guess after that point, I didn't really need to keep Pearl. Okay, this cycle's maybe... Actually, I said I was going to ignore this echo, right? So this will just make dealing with the... It'll just make these rooms a lot easier. Don't have to worry about vultures. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I don't like that vulture though. It might have already seen me. It definitely saw me. Okay, we will be sitting here for a while. Also, just hello to everyone else who's watching the stream, even if you aren't saying anything in the chat. I do appreciate all of you. Okay, I didn't wait for long enough. We'll just hide down here. I imagine that the longer that you stay in their line of sight, the more they're willing to stick around. They eventually just kind of lose interest over time. For whatever reason, the echo effect doesn't apply to any of these rooms. I guess it's like such a long room that it'd be weird if it applied on the very right side of it. They're still showing up. Honestly, I only have Rita to blame for messing up my movement. Doing slides as Reveal It and like most movement tech actually is significantly easier. It's kind of like having the simplified movement mod on, except not as extreme, or at least from what I've seen of it. So I've kind of gotten used to doing slides very quickly as Reveal It. And now that has just made my slides with other characters a lot worse. Why does everyone in the chat have a gray profile picture? Like no color at all. Maybe I should have left that popcorn plant. Well, I guess this is quite a difficult segment, so good idea to shelter here. Oh, nice roll pounce there. This is one of the areas as the hunter that is probably the most annoying. There's just so many. It's probably a drop wig, yeah. Let's not do that. There's so many lead lizards in a single room, as well as a lot of white lizards in a few rooms after that. We'll see. I think that was one lizard that just passed by right now. Or not. Maybe that was just a few bat flies. You know, I've always gotten used to going through the tunnels on the right side of this room. But I usually see in speedruns that they use the pipes instead. Hopefully that cherry bomb helped a little bit. They're all chasing me. I usually just take the little shortcut that where you can stick a spear into the wall and just jump up. I don't like that blue lizard. Yeah, just don't mind me. It's just running through. I have no idea how I'm gonna get through this room. Why do there have to be lead lizards in this room? Like it's bad enough with the white lizards. But I've only lured the cyan ones up here. Oh, that's wonderful. I think one of the white lizards. Oh, I should have fell down actually. Might be the only chance I get. I don't see any others. Do you ever think that there's some situations that are just impossible? There's usually a way around it that involves just being patient. Unless you're doing a speedrun, in which case sometimes there is just no solution. I don't like this. I know that, like, as long as you're not holding up, you shouldn't grab onto them. Oh. But sometimes you just happen to grab onto them anyway for some reason. I'd rather not risk it since I would have no way to get out. As long as I can just sneak in here. And if a white lizard shows up in this tunnel, I'm just dead. Well, yep. What did I just say? I didn't see that. It's quite hard to see white lizards in there. Maybe if I just looked harder. I don't know. Luckily, the echo at the end of this region, it doesn't. You don't have to be at max karma for it to show up, which is amazing because it means you can die as many times as. Well, you can die a lot, and even if you drop all the way down to the lowest karma level, you can always just get to that echo and it'll be fine. Maybe that happens if you see pebbles too. I don't know. It gives you max karma. Also, I have a question for you guys. I'd like to ask: would eating a neuron fly be against the rules for this challenge? What do you think? Thanks, I didn't want that spear anyway. Save moon than eat her neurons. That's a lot worse. Okay, somehow I got through that whole thing. And hopefully none of them continue to follow me. That's actually a good thing, as long as they aggro on the white lizard and not me. There's so many other options, Vulture. You don't have to do this. I think that, like, on higher difficulties, like for the hunter, and if you get through a lot of cycles without dying, then creatures are more likely to target you over anything else, which is a little annoying. Oh, of course, the white lizard is right there. That's a lot of fun. That wasn't a roll pounce. Narflies don't break monk passage progress? Yeah. But they... I mean, we know that they directly hurt the iterator that they're a part of, right? It's just that for Pebbles, it's like, he has so many neurons that it doesn't make a difference. But for Moon, it definitely does. Or maybe it's just because Moon isn't actually connected to the rest of her structure that the neurons are much more important. But even if the neurons are important, are connected to the iterator, then even if Pebbles has like a million neurons, that is still like damage being done to them by eating one of them. I don't see the lizard. Did they just go through the... There they are. Climb up. Wow, that's a slow lizard. Will there be a lizard off screen? Nope. But there's a chance. For a second, I didn't remember which of the pole plants were real. Which of the poles were real. It's one of them. They aren't looking down, though. Now they are. If they go through this pipe, they might come back. You know what? I'm not gonna risk. I'm gonna do the same thing as I did last time. Let's go through here first. Okay. I feel like if there was a white lizard, it would have reacted to the sound. So I should be good. It's funny that there's a shelter here. I think maybe it would have made more sense if the shelter was in between the white lizards and the cyan lizards / orange lizards, because you get past both of them, and then there's like 2 lizards in the entire rest of the wall. I guess it's nice for like Artificer and Spearmaster, where there's scavengers up here, so you get past the lizards, shelter, and then you get past the scavengers, and you make it to Pebbles, right? But for other campaigns, it's just get past all the lizards, and then the shelter's there for no reason, because you can pretty easily make it through the rest of the region. Nice lag spike, right as I'm about to do that jump. I think I decided for whenever I do modded characters in the future, to never go through Pebbles or Moon if it takes place in Sphere Masters campaign. It just takes so much time, and it also is an environment that doesn't let most characters to take advantage of their abilities. And unless the character's abilities it specifically improves their zero gravity movements, then I probably should just avoid them entirely. Every time I enter the iterators, it just kind of slows down the pace of the stream dramatically. So I guess we're deciding that eating neurons is fine. I'll just go through the rest of this as normal. This still isn't the fastest way to see Pebbles. I mean, it is the fastest way to see Pebbles. But it's not very fast, that's all. Once you get past the wall, it's just kind of like the depths, like a long, very long area that doesn't really have any danger into it. Nice jump. And then we have to go through the whole cutscene with Pebbles, or cutscene in quotation marks. I mean, we don't usually see this version, or at least I don't usually see it that often. Ah, Pebbles, it's a whole lot easier to get that thing out of my stomach rather than when I have a mouth. I wonder if I should turn on wall pouncing back on. I think it's funny. I think the Downpour developers kind of realized that it didn't really make sense for Pebbles and Moon to be so close together. So they kind of created the whole like Precipice and the idea of Moon City getting like overcrowded, overpopulated, and they had to create another iterator to bring all these people into, all the ancients. It's like, for what reason should the iterators be so close together if that wasn't the case? That was probably a lot of the process when creating like lore stuff for Downpour. Just like what is some like that doesn't really make sense in base game is something that they could fix with like a few pearls explaining why. Oh, I forgot to jump. I should have jumped earlier. I don't know why Pebbles just makes this zero gravity just expects us to leave. Like good luck, Slug Cat. Alright, one neuron, and that's it. Like you again. Even though I laughed like 10 seconds ago. Yeah, If you move too fast there, you can't even grab onto the pole at the end. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Just finished up meeting Pebbles. So now I'm on my way back to Moon. Community Pebbles required for the run. I think for like there's the official Discord challenge that is a very similar idea of like not killing any creatures, and I think Moon and Pebbles are required for that. But I am doing a slightly different challenge where the goal is to just never, or the goal is to still meet Pebbles and Moon and then ascend. But I'm also going to try to avoid hurting any creature at all. So not just like not kill anything, but don't like even hit anything with a rock or like throw something off a cliff. So popcorn diet, pretty much. There has been one time where a noodle fly mother got mad at a blue lizard and killed it, and I ate the blue lizard afterwards. And also a time where I saw a egg bug that was killed by something, probably wormgrass. But I was already full, but if I wanted to, I could have eaten the egg bug eggs. So there's a handful of scenarios where I can get food, but I'm going to try to avoid doing those on purpose, right? So if I stumble across a dead creature, I'll eat it if I need the food. But I'm not going to try to create that scenario. This is going to be a nothing cycle. I just need to head over to the Echo. Three cycle hunter run. I assume that means that you just went to a few echoes and immediately went to ascend. Because another good strategy, of course, is just to avoid creatures entirely. I really messed up both of those. So yeah, it's not that hard if you don't really spend that many cycles at all, but we have to go across most of the map for this challenge. Or at least I've decided to. It would be quite boring if I just had to make it, or I just had to ascend. Should I grab that pearl? I think my reputation is already good enough for it to not be a problem, so I'm not really threatened by any scavengers. I suck at this right now for some reason. It could actually be a lot easier as monk, right? It'd be significantly easier. You don't have to deal with as many creatures and you can eat a lot of different food. Like one of the biggest challenges as in this run is that I can't just like kill creatures for food. And that there are also significantly less popcorn plants as the hunter. Oh, hunter's campaign as monk. So just monk with more creature spawns, or more dangerous creature spawns. And in that case, it's pretty much only the faster speed that would help. Hunter is a little bit faster, but you still have like more options for food and a lower food requirement. And I think that the amount of food that you need, it depends on which character you're playing and not the campaign. The Among Us room. I'm kind of offended by that, honestly. I've never heard someone refer, like, I assume that you mean, or in the depths. In the depths. The depths doesn't flood. You mean like the or the room like right before the depths in filtration system? The drill room. Okay, that's a much better way to call that room. Usually going down the wall is a lot easier. Because you have gravity. Unless you just sit there and do nothing. It definitely is not intentional. I'm looking at the map right now. Sure. I don't really see it. Maybe. Impatient. I don't know what happened there. I just kind of sat there and did nothing. But that was the problem that I had with the one of the modded characters. I think the Lancer, right? The Lancer dies very easily to fall damage, so I died a whole lot trying to rush through the wall. Sometimes that happens, where you get a big jump off of these. There we go. I did a proper one. Like, I never really worry about that jump. Because, like, even if I do miss the pole, I still don't die to fall damage. As any character except for the Lancer. Ow. Like, I might have even died there. You know what? Let's just go around. Oh. Oh, okay. They went in. I almost missed that pole at the end. I'll also continue to mess up every single slide I try to do. I just like doing that. I don't like this guy though. That's an easy way to do this, stream. Literally just fall down there and grab onto the pole at the bottom. Now I don't have any food, and there's actually not a popcorn plant for a while. I already ate the one before or after this gate. I don't know where if there's any in the rest of Chimney or Industrial. I think I might know where one is in Industrial, but that's quite the distance, so I'll have to kind of speedrun this next bit. That's not a good start. That's... Nope. There we go. It's kind of annoying to try to climb up ledges like that. I guess I could just eat a bunch of blue fruit. It'd eventually be enough food. I have to eat 12 of them. It's actually not that bad. That doesn't help. Oh yeah, I think that's the next one I'm thinking of. Like close to the entrance of industrial from Chimney. Ah. I see lizard, I throw rock. And we're all the way back here. Maybe I will just eat all the blue fruit I come across. Like just being able to throw rocks. If your goal is to just not kill creatures, being able to throw rocks helps a lot. Although I am trying to avoid that in this run. Situations like that happen sometimes. Right, I panic and I throw a rock, and even though I mean I could have just like walked backwards and I probably would have been fine. That was super late. Wow, I finally did a slide. Can you believe it? I'll never be able to do one again. All these bat flies showing up make me think that it's a white lizard. Okay, great spot to hide. I almost missed the pole. Okay. That worked out somehow. I got pushed out of the pipe by the white lizard through the blue lizard and all the way up here. Don't come down here. All the way over to the next pipe. Remember when I said I was gonna eat blue fruit? Yeah, I already forgot. I'm avoiding bat flies too. I was holding up. I guess that did not work. I guess the challenge was being too easy for too long. It had to consider becoming an actual challenge eventually, so here we are. just noticed I was muted. Hopefully I wasn't muted for longer than like a few seconds. Why do I bother? I thought I got consistent at this kind of movement, but apparently not. Considering how much speed that you get from an extended instant hop. Like, there's so much more to be improved in the base slow cat categories. Like, for maybe their slide bounce is not much slower than a extended instant hop. But for Survivor and Hunter, it's significantly faster. So if you get super consistent with that movement, then you can like significantly improve your time. But I've yet to get consistent. I can't even do slides consistently. Although I don't know the timing window on doing an actual slide. Oh, I don't like you. I really don't like you. I'd actually, you know what? I don't mind you. If you do keep fighting. Yeah, that's fair. That's a vulture. Also not make the same mistake as last time. Still can't shelter here. Maybe because I'm messing up the slide, I'm also messing up all the slide related movement. If I can't even get do the other timing in the right window, it's obviously not gonna work. As long as we can get through here quickly and not accidentally throw a single rocket at a lizard, we'll be good. How high did I go? Usually there's a white lizard right here. Just the worst spot for a lizard to be in. There they are. I don't know if I've ever seen a spider up here. Seems quite uncommon. Oh, if only there was a karma flower here. I mean, even if there were just karma flowers as the hunter, it would be significantly more easier. These popcorn plants are gone. And just keep going. White lizards don't really like chasing. Okay, I got really lucky there. I stepped that jump again in a situation where it actually was pretty important that I pulled it off. So now we're just hoping that there is in fact a popcorn plant. Although that the room that it's in isn't very, it's not very fun. This room usually has lizards in it. Seems like there's only that one and the white lizard, of course. And a king vulture, of course. Now there's two of them. Yeah, but I feel like I wouldn't find enough vulture grubs to get the food when I could just get it. Oh, wait. That's, okay, but red lizard. There's food, but red lizard. Well, as long as it doesn't just come back. But that was pretty lucky. Especially that it's a red lizard too, because otherwise a egg bug might not die instantly to a lizard bite. But now can I get back past the red lizard? That's the next question. Yep, just go through that. White lizard. As you get more familiar with this game, you start to learn where white lizards tend to be. Okay. Really practice those more. So there's a popcorn plant up there. Two of them, actually. I might spend some... Oh, I'm playing as Hunter. So you can't really just spend a few cycles getting karma. I guess if there's any place to do it, it would be right here. But, actually, where would I get food in shaded? I guess there's... No. So actually, here's the plan. I'll stay in this shelter. I'll head back to grab a popcorn plant, and then I'll go through the entirety of shaded. So that I can stay in a shelter closer to moon. I have no idea where I'm going to get food there, though. Because popcorn plants start to become less frequent. I really got nomad in a single cycle like that. I guess you don't need to shelter in a region to make progress. Oh, scavengers. Why is it threat music? Okay, guess that's one way to do that. I didn't really want to do a backflip, but it worked. Still a chance of a vulture showing up. Hello. Welcome to the stream. So, I have a feeling that, okay. They are aggressive, but there is a vulture. So surely you know that the vulture is more dangerous than I am. The scavengers just parried each other's spears. Also, that's a dead vulture I could have eaten. But now that I'm not holding any weapons, I am less of a threat. Now it's about getting through shaded. This is one of the... It is a max karma requirement. 5 karma. Not max. I have higher than 5 max karma, but this is the highest karma gate requirement. So if there's anywhere we're dying a whole lot, it could have been a problem. It's right before this. I think you've ever seen a pacifist challenge before? Well, now you have. Actually, doesn't make too much of a difference in this next area. There's not too many creatures to worry about. Shaded ends up actually being one of the more peaceful areas in the run. Especially with the route that I take. And, it's already that I could have taken the mask. Well, I did say that I want to avoid using the mask anyway. And where would it be useful anyway, right? There's like a few lizards here. Most of them are blind and they can't even see if I had a mask on. Same with infiltration. And there's like only a handful of lizards in shorelines, so... Anyway, I should mention that the rules for this challenge are rules that I've created myself. There is an official Discord challenge, or a challenge in the Rain World Discord server. And that challenge is completing all the hunter's objectives or without getting any kills. And since at the end of a hunter run, and now with Downpour, as any run, you can see exactly how many creatures you've killed at the end. So you would want like no creatures to show up at the end there. I'm doing a slightly harder version of the challenge. I knew it. I always expect the drop wing to be there. Nope. But I'm avoiding hurting any creatures at all. Oh, you can't spear that? Come on. So if I accidentally throw a rock and a lantern mouse, then I have to reset the cycle. I just exit out of the game. And also with the rules of not killing anything, you could technically throw a single spear at a creature to injure it, but not kill it, so that you would have an easier time getting past it. But I'm not even allowed to do that. Also, I was wrong about having a good enough reputation for the scavengers to not hurt me. Well, probably because we're over in Shaded and I gave pearls to scavengers and farmers. That's quite the distance. You know, I really like Shaded. If anything, just for this route that I took through it. If I'm in Industrial or Chimney or Sky Islands or whatever, if I want to go to Shoreline, I go through Shaded first. And so I've learned to take this specific path that is like not very dangerous at all. I'm not revealing it. And it's always like a nice road and I prefer it over garbage waste. Most definitely. Trying to beat challenge 70. Good luck with that. Wave 4. I don't remember what that is. Specifically. I have completed challenge 70. It was not easy at all. I actually don't know if there's a popcorn plant after this gate. Because if there is, I would like to give more pearls to those scavengers. Because that would make dealing with scavengers in Moon and in Subterranean a lot easier. I'll do it. There is, but it maybe pops. That's what I was asking. Because of course, there's gonna be a popcorn plant there. But a lot of hunters' popcorn plants are already gone. I guess because, well, no, not even because of Gourmand. Gourmand is after Hunter. That would have been a funny explanation though. If Hunter was after Gourmand, then Gourmand would have already eaten all the popcorn plants. Although it doesn't take very long for them to replenish themselves, so that's not it. That would have to mean that they're very close in the timeline, and even the sluggers that are pretty close are like many cycles apart. Why are you gonna throw something at me? I'm literally holding pearls. That's not a great sign for my scavenger rep if even the merchant was slightly aggressive. That's only a fruit. Kinda worried for a second that I hit something off screen, but it was just the fruit. I mean, technically a spider could have gone over there. It's very unlikely. There's a popcorn plant. We're good. I'll just stay in the shelter right here. You know, I don't know why I don't have the Saints passage yet. I think that'd be pretty easy to get, considering what I'm doing. But I haven't even made any progress in that at all. But hello again. I'm assuming that you left for a bit. We made it over to Shoreline. Shaded Citadel is significantly easier than the wall and chimney canopy. I don't know how far I'll be able to make it. So I'm going to Moon, and then I'm heading back to Subterranean. But I'd like to make it over to the popcorn plant. I think there should be some in Subterranean I can get. So I only have like 2 cycles at most to do that. Shouldn't be that bad though. One of the things that I really like about Rain World how far you can make it in a single cycle. It'll take a new players like a very long time, like kind of wandering around aimlessly, getting stuck by creatures. And it'll take probably like several cycles to cross a single region, but once you like, get familiar with the room layouts and the movement of the game, then eventually you can like, sprint past like several regions in a single cycle. It's long enough. It's one of the things that got me interested in speedrunning at all. So I was interested. I was like, I wonder if I can get from pebbles all the way down to the depths in a single cycle. It turns out it not only is possible, but it's actually one of the Discord challenges. So I completed one of them without even knowing what they were. I'll actually go here first. Why are you like this? I mean, there's a lot of games like Breath of the Wild comes to mind, where you're kind of expected to explore a lot of the map because it's an open world game, right? There's a lot that they want you to do, but if you want, you can totally just go to the very end and beat the final boss with very few preparations. Yeah, 2 of those scavengers, I guess I could eat them. I could carry them with me and eat them next cycle. I still have the neon, right? I do. The glow is kind of hard to see in a bright room like that. I don't know how long you have to stay in this room for it to count. Can I leave right now, or do I have to wait for this? For some reason you get stunned during that cutscene. I'm gonna say that this is long enough. So I'm pretty sure that in speedruns they leave a lot sooner than that. I just wasn't exactly sure when that was. I think I'm actually going to bring one of these scavengers with me. I didn't kill them. The overseer did, honestly. Oh, but if I could just like, yeah, take these pearls. I'm not responsible for the death of these scavengers. I don't know if I'm strong enough to carry them though. So I think that like Artificer is like a lot stronger than Hunter. You can easily carry scavengers around. Might be very different as Hunter because I haven't really done this. You go quickly through pipes for sure. Through tunnels. Oh, this probably is not possible. Alright. Well, I guess I threw him up there. Yeah, no. Can't do that. So I'll have to make it over to... Okay. There's only like 30 seconds left in the cycle, so we just have to stay here. So close to bringing the scavenger through. The hunter is too weak. Just a little reminder that I had nothing to do with the death of those scavengers. If anything, I was trying to prevent that from happening by giving the scavengers pearls. Oh yeah. That's when that happens. Scavengers had civil disagreement. I guess, like, compared to some of the DLC characters, the Hunter doesn't look great in comparison. But other than the time limit, I think Hunter is still very comparable. Just being able to hold it, I mean, I'm not doing anything to take advantage of it because I'm not hurting creatures at all. Also, I got very lucky with that King Vulture. But all the DLC characters have some really good strength and then some horrible weakness. Like, Artificer is, like, objectively better than Hunter, pretty much, considering all of their crazy abilities. But I usually don't like playing Artificer because you have to deal with scavengers. I don't really like fighting scavengers. And, I mean, Hunter starts with a bad reputation, but you can give, like, a handful of pearls to them and you're pretty good. What even is that up there? Oh, Hazer. But I guess Hunter does kind of have a similar formula of they have the back spear and they have like higher stats all around, but they have the time limit. So there's the big downside once again. I don't like that guy, but I have a strategy. Okay, strategy worked. Climb up. Here we go. Why are there so few hazers in the water? I have no idea. There's a decent amount in the gutter, and as well as in drainage system where Rivulets campaign starts. Okay, there is a guy here. They like to get stuck in that den for some reason. There always has to be like 20 snails right here. Which sucks for a Saint speedrun because I would have died just then if I was Saint. That one snail is all it takes. I think one theory that I heard about the hazers is that they're specifically adapted to swimming around in the flood waters of the rain. So when it rains and all the runes flood, they swim around and do whatever they do, you know. But then once it stops raining, the floods go away, you know. Swim this again. They kind of just get stranded somewhere, and I don't know why they would also like kind of like hop around the very short distance they need to get back into the water. They're usually not even that far from a pool of water anyway. Always so close without a jetfish. But I have another question. Why are bubble fruits like not already popped? If when the shelter opens is like just a bit after it stopped raining. And you can even see when are you dead? Hey, I didn't kill it, you know. What I did say at the beginning, if I happen to stumble across a dead creature, it's food, you know. I'm gonna take that opportunity. Yeah, like why are the bubble fruit not already popped? Oh, nice one. Yeah, and if there's a shelter failure, and that's when it rains, like right or before you, when you like leave the shelter and it's already raining. That's a free cycle, and sometimes it causes the bubble fruit to pop. So if that's what's happening, then why are they always on pop at the start of a regular cycle? Magic? Fair enough. There are some popcorn plants in Subterranean that I would have had to go and get. We can just stay right here because of that jetfish. I don't know what killed the jetfish though. Definitely didn't have anything to do with me. He was already dead when I got there. I don't know if the jetfish bumping into things actually does damage. Those two jetfish might have been fighting each other for a long time, but I didn't think that that'd be able to kill them. Also, classic massive centipede in this room. Might as well just climb over. This is the popcorn plant that I'll have to find a way to get past the kelp. And okay. That didn't work. You can stand on the centipede's body and they won't know that you're there, but I think I touched the ground and it made a sound, so the centipede heard that. It'd be funny if I could use the centipede as a trampoline to get the popcorn there. I might want to lure the centipede over here. Yeah. I'll have more space to get the popcorn plant. I don't think this is big enough to hurt me. I don't have a spear though. So I'll have to find a way to get past the kelp. I think a extended slide should work. This is probably the last food that I'm going to eat this run. Oh, if I do an extended slide here, it's just gonna hit the other kelp. Well, I'll just do this. There we go. You gotta think about these things when you're trying to avoid hitting creatures entirely. I think I can do it. Well, I can just throw a boost here. There's usually drop wigs. Yep, there they are. Two of them. This might be a problem. If that centipede wants to head up there, make this a lot easier. If that drop wig was a little bit further to the left, I could do an extended slide to get past them. Why is this centipede incompetent? Here, I'll try doing this. Yeah, that worked. If you throw a spear very close to a drop, it'll cause them to fall down. That actually worked out. But there's a decent chance. Oh, there they are. I'm gonna say that there's a decent chance another dropper will show up, but They were already dead. All of them are already dead. I assume that centipede has been going around. Do I have pups unlocked in this save? I don't think I do. No, keep going. There we go. Wonderful sound to hear when entering a room. Okay, that explosive spear could have been a... Oh, there's a guy up there. Stowaway. That's not a stowaway. Well, I don't hear anything. So it was safe. I do hear that though. I'm thinking about making a video that involves slug pups soon. Oh, okay. It's very risky to use these, because if there's any spider on screen... Oh, they're busy. If there's any spider on screen, they will instantly die. So that would count as a kill from me. I'm pretty sure that flashbangs don't do any damage. If it's just like to blind a creature. But it most definitely does damage against spiders. Oh, I'm probably not even going to use them now. So this is the route that I used in the Saint speedrun. Going through this portion of filtration system. I don't like that though. I don't like that mole lizard. But eye pain. I did use cherry bombs earlier, which would be ear pain, but I'm probably not going to. I don't think that should count. Because you can like throw a bunch of rocks at a creature and kill it eventually. They do a small amount of damage, but I don't think any amount of flashbangs would or cherry bombs would kill other creatures. Maybe they do, but I tried to avoid like hitting them directly. So which direction will the mole go there? And then from here I need to go down where that spider was. I think that was a red spider carrying a mole lizard. Now it's just a red spider. Okay. Okay. I'm not liking this place. I guess I haven't been here as Hunter, so this is what it looks like. It's probably a lot safer as the Saint. It's a little hard to tell what's a mother spider and what's just a red spider. Because mother spiders are relatively safe. Okay, well, now that mole lizard is over there. I think I heard a centipede too. Oh yeah, there is. Well, the spiders are gone at least. I think this is an opportunity to get past. Well, now the spiders are back, but I think we're good. I find that this route through filtration is usually a lot easier than the old path. Because this makes use of the extension to filtration. Usually there's a bit more space there to avoid moles, whereas these rooms kind of require you to just hope that the moles don't get in the way. Oh, they did pass. Right at that very moment. The moment I touch the ground, they're gonna all know that I'm here. If I was loud about it. Ow. I'm gonna get past the void sea and it's gonna turn out that I did kill the creature at some point. But there we go. I think that's the end of the run, pretty much. Now it's just the extended cutscene portion of the run. There we go. Data fall damage. I have done that before in that drill room. I don't know if it's possible in the last room of the depth, or the like first half of the depths. As long as I don't hit the guardian too. So this is an interesting challenge. It wasn't actually that important for some segments of the run. Like shaded, I would not have fought any creatures regardless of the challenge. I guess there's one time I like ran into a drop wig, and I might have thrown a rock at the drop wig or something. But I think that around like the wall and anywhere where there was white lizards was significantly more difficult. Because usually the strategy, or my strategy for white lizards at least, is just to try to run past them with and then throw a rock at them to stun them for a bit. And I could not do that, so I just had to wait for white lizards to move out of the way, which they don't like to do. Or just run past them very fast. I suppose if you really wanted, or if you really mess up here, you might die to fall damage, but I don't think it's a real concern. Because like, I think gravity is slightly lower in this whole region, or there's some sort of force that's applied upwards. So you are less likely to die to fall damage. There we go. A little tricky to do in the depth. That's a trick that you can also do if you mess up. But because like, I think it's like time is slightly slowed down in this whole area. So doing that right there, that's an instant slide pounce. It might have another name. But you can do the slide pounce at the very first frame that you activate the slide. It's usually like pretty much impossible to do unless time is slowed down slightly, like in the depths, or if you eat a mushroom, or if you're at TAS, of course. But you basically have to start a slide, but then as soon as you start it, also jump again for a second time. But it's risky because if you mess it up, you just gotta flop on the ground for a bit. And if you're in the depths, you probably just went through a whole like other speedrun, and you don't want to mess up at the end. You tend not to see very risky strategies done in the depths. I usually lower the volume of the game in this area. Because for some reason, I mean, I guess there's a reason for the void sea to be super loud, but it's kind of annoying. I still kind of think about the idea of like a modded character that is more stealth oriented than other characters, because we have our movement characters. Obviously, we have Rivulet, we have Saint, and modded characters like the Outsider that focus more on movement. And then we have our combat characters like Spearmaster, Artificer, and like Drone Master. Plenty of other modded characters are more combat oriented. But I'd love to see one that's like very stealthy, where you just try to sneak past creatures. Like maybe a Slugget that could walk on walls, either normal walls or background walls, and maybe you could like camouflage yourself like a white lizard. And you could either take the approach of them being very weak physically, so you try to avoid creatures as much as possible, or they would be fairly strong actually, so they would be like more of an ambush predator. Where you could sneak up, do sneak attacks on creatures by hiding, like a Dropwig or a white lizard. This is also going to be like the lowest score. Actually, no, not really. This will have a pretty good score because doing the main objectives gives you a lot of points. And what I mean by pretty good score is in like nothing. It still won't be great. No creature kills, not many passages. I think I did get like 2 passages. Survivor and Nomad. Maybe 1 more, but probably not. Now you have to go through this whole sequence. Something that I do like a lot about the other endings added in Downpour is how quick they are. Well, for the sake of speedruns, it's not that important. Once the timer stops, you can just end the run. Especially for this category, or any category that ends in the Void Sea. Because you have to, like, it's kind of RNG how quickly you go through the Void Sea, depending on whether the Void Worms push you up a lot or down. So once you enter the top of the Void Sea, the timer stops, and that's as far as you need to go for the speedrun. But if you actually want to complete a run, you still have to do this whole sequence. It's also quite long for the Saint. But all the other endings, you just get to the end, and that's it. Maybe there is a short cutscene that plays, but it's not as long as this. Off we go. I think it actually is faster to swim up a little bit, because the Void Worm always wants to go to the top of the Void Sea and then back down. So if you swim up for a bit, it doesn't take as long to go up. But I also think that the amount of time that they swim down is kind of randomized too. So it might not even matter if you get unlucky with that. So it also is another contributing factor as to why we don't time this part of the run. If you're doing a speedrun, of course. A very small tip that I have for this segment. The specific angle that I'm swimming at usually brings me straight to the end of the Void Sea. You can just alternate between, well, first of all, you have to find the rhythm where you tap jump to do the swim boost. And then you alternate between jumping and pressing down, and you kind of go at this angle. Of course, if you're on keyboard. I imagine that if you're on controller, you just hold at this angle. But you just do this. You see that movement kind of brought me straight here. I think you do need to go a little bit further down than the angle that this gets you, but it's like I'm pretty close right here. And then we immediately skip this. Oh, I was very close to getting chieftain. Maybe if I did take advantage of that exploit. Only 8 deaths. Honestly, it felt like more. Well, probably because when I was dying a lot at the wall, I had to go all the way through that, like I was in Pebbles, so I had to go all the way across the top of the wall before I got to the dangerous part again. But there we go. No creatures killed at all, and I'm pretty sure that no creatures were harmed at all either. So there we go. That's the end of the challenge. Honestly, not too bad, and it kind of mixes up the way that you play the game, especially as Hunter. Although I would recommend trying to figure out a route that visits a lot of popcorn plants. And maybe don't eat the popcorn plant at the entrance to the wall. That's a good place to shelter when you're leaving. All right. That's going to be the end of the stream. There we go. Thanks everyone for watching. See ya.